Well, hey, hi, hello everyone. So I am doing something a little bit different today. Today I am doing, well, actually, you'll be seeing it tomorrow, but tonight I am recording a 10 for 12. So 10 for 12 is a video series that was created by Steve from the Lawn Gnome. If you haven't checked out his channel, definitely do that. It is so entertaining, it's so well put together. Basically, what he does is, I think it's 10 for 12, so like every month basically he comes up with a topic and you give your top 10 things from this topic. I'm so bad at explaining shit. So either in the comments or in the description I will link his channel because I think he's got like a playlist and everything for that. So for this one we are doing Rants by Foamy the Squirrel. And if you know what Foamy the Squirrel is, I believe it's also called Neurotically Yours. And it's basically like a web series about a talking squirrel named Foamy. It is hilarious, but it's also very intelligent in some ways. Actually, often intelligent. Intelligence and humor, they're very balanced. Sorry, it's late. I'm trying to record this before I go back to bed, and I'm also drinking, so. Dr. Pepper and vodka. Pretty good combination, so let's go. First rant is Paranormal Romance. And basically what he was ranting about is how vampires, ghosts, and werewolves are not scary anymore. They sparkle. They make women fall in love with them and everything. And, vampires suck your blood, like he says. If you're with a werewolf, you might not want to worry about makeup when your face is like 3 blocks away or something, like he said. Basically, they're predators. And, mainly it's movies that I've seen because I've read the first Twilight book, I won't lie, and I thought it was okay. I didn't think it was anything spectacular. And one day I may actually go back and read the whole series to form a full opinion on it. But he was right just by watching that movie. It's like the protagonist, especially a female protagonist, she always has to be madly in love with this creature or something like that. And I don't know, it's always like she discovers the stuff like magic and werewolves or whatever exists. Then for some reason she falls madly in love with this creature, but he can't be with her because he's too dangerous. And I don't know, it kind of put me off from checking out other stuff, and I'm sure there might be good stuff, even Paranormal Romance itself. Like, I think you could write a good romance. It's not my favorite thing, but if it's done right, I can live with it. And this is not to bash mixing it up or YA. My favorite book of all time is YA. And it even has some bits of romantic stuff in it, but not very much. There's reasons for it. There's reasons why the character feels the way that they do. Whereas in something like Twilight, it's like his eyes were mesmerizing, and there's just stuff even in the movie I didn't get. Like, did the sun never shine in the school? How did no one else ever see Edward sparkle? How? But yeah, if you know of any good books, let me know. I mean, I'd be willing to try them. It's not the content itself or the subjects, it's the content, it's how it's done. Number 9 and 8, they go together, and they're the Halloween hooplas. Basically, he's going on about how Halloween really isn't scary anymore. How people have doe-eyed, cutesy decorations. And to some degree, I'm a little guilty of this, but that's more for my own personal use. I have a slight goth side, and I like cute and spooky. most of that stuff is like for my room decoration and stuff. I still like horror movies and stuff. I like scary Halloween decorations. Um, I'm not a big person on gore, but I do like your basic scary movies and everything, your ghost films and your slashers and stuff like that. Even though I have an overactive imagination at times, and I don't prefer to watch them alone, but I'll still watch them. I he went on about how horror movies like the Japanese remakes in August are useless because they're in August and not October. How people give some of these crappy costumes, dressing up like a hardcore rapper, you know, in your street clothes is not a costume. Saying you're Edward from Twilight, Guy Lanter's not a costume. And yes, I agree. I think the candy is getting a little bit cheaper. Number 7 is death. And this was basically about how if you didn't like a person in life, you're not going to be sad that they're dead. If a person was horrible, they're horrible. And just because they're dead doesn't mean you need to respect them. And how these eulogies and stuff can basically make anybody sound good. Like, you can have a horrible dictator, and people can pick out things from their life that make them sound like a good person. And I think it's kind of weird how society looks at things and some of the social norms that we have and social rules or whatever. Some are obviously put in place for good reason, but some, they don't work in every situation. Number 6 is dead TV. And this is basically about how there's not really anything good on TV anymore. If it is, you usually have to stream it, or it's on very expensive cable. You have to have all these premium packages and all that other stuff, but he really didn't say that. But basically, as a real life person, I know that. That basically there's nothing but crappy reality TV on now. You have stuff like The Simple Life and all these different chef shows and this and that, and some of them can be good once in a while. But a lot of it's the same stuff over and over again. And that's fine if you're into that stuff, but then there's stuff like the Jersey Shore, and I don't get how that became so popular. If you look at something like Foamy the Squirrel, or llamas with hats, or some of these, even these web cartoons, or these smaller unknown shows where people are actually animating stuff. They're taking time to be talented and do artwork, do voiceovers, or in real life, act, get in costume, recite lines. And yeah, some of them have their followings and stuff, but the fact that some of these dumbass reality shows have become as big as they are. Like, I guarantee more people probably know about the Jersey Shore and shit like that than some of the other stuff that's on. Or some of the smaller web cartoons that talk about subjects and do it in a humorous way. They are intelligent and entertaining. Number 5 is dating advice. And oh my god. So, there are certain people you should watch out for, according to Foamy. Like, women who dress slutty, women who drag you to jewelry counters. Then there are guys who are lazy. They feel entitled because they work, even though you might work too, but they want you to serve them and everything. They call you by pet names. Basically, it was about men and women that each other should watch out for. But also, that you should trust your partner. You should let them have a life. And I totally agree with that. I don't understand these guys that are like, if you look at my girl, I'll punch you. Or these girls, if you text my man, I'll kill you, bitch, and this and that. It's like, really? You don't own your partner. If they want to leave, they're gonna fucking do it. And they may just leave your ass for not trusting them. Also, how does your relationship grow if you're constantly with each other? Because what do you talk about at the end of the day? How do you talk about your day? How do you discover new things for each other to try if you don't go out and venture out? Like, go to the store by yourself. Don't wait for your partner to get up or whatever. You might see, like, I don't know, a movie you've never seen before. Like, oh, I'll look this up and this and that. You might pass by a restaurant, and you think, oh, we should try this. But if you're constantly with each other all the time, none of you are gonna, like, discover anything. Because you're always doing the same thing over and over again. And a big thing is communication. And it doesn't help if you don't have shit to talk about. And the trust issue, like I said, that's another big thing. Number 4 is stop protecting the stupid people. And this basically is about how we have warning labels on every fucking thing. Oh my god, like, coffee is supposed to be hot, right? Nuts may contain nuts. And as Foamy says, I'd be pretty pissed if they didn't. And it just, like, I've turned cans of, like, hairspray and, like, other spray stuff around, and it'll say stuff like, do not puncture. And it's like, why? Why would I do that? Who thinks to do that? Is there somebody that stupid that has done that you have to put a warning label on it? And some people, and the fact that they get mad at you for not, like, totally guiding them. Like, I've had people walk into my work and everything. They're like, where's this or that? You point. I don't see it. Like, dude, it's literally right fucking behind you. Like, if you're looking for donuts and stuff, there's a whole big fucking case. The place isn't that big. Even if you went around the whole fucking thing, and you still didn't find it, maybe you shouldn't be driving. Maybe you're not dumb. Maybe you just, maybe you can't see very well. But in that case, it is kind of dumb to be behind the wheel and everything. It just, what gets to me is when older people say some dumb shit. My age and up. Because people pick on kids so much about some of these trends, which, yeah, they're stupid. Like, eating fucking Tide Pods are stupid, which, again, that goes with the saving stupid people, and I blame No Child Left Behind and, like, reality TV raising kids. But when you do it, you don't have room to talk. Number 3 is the content we make. And basically, he's talking about top 10 lists or rehashing videos. Basically not using your own original content, and how that gets more views than some original stuff. So, like, this is a top 10 list, and I like top 10 lists. I make top 10 Tuesdays. But when I watch stuff like this, like the ones that Steve does and the other people, and, even some stuff like some people who do, like, top 5 Wednesday for BookTube and stuff like that, a lot of them are also giving their opinions on why they picked this or that. But then you have some of these other ones, which I watch once in a while for mindless entertainment, that are like, top 10 child celebrities and what they look like now and stuff like that, or celebrities from like your childhood and shit like that. And basically, it's just a list, and a lot of it has to do with like who they're dating or what the fuck they look like now. And I noticed a lot of stuff on BookTube, like tags, which there have been great tags. I've done tags, but I notice a lot of things that are kind of fast-paced and stuff, they do get more views than stuff like discussions, like actual book reviews or book discussions, like I said. And that can be kind of sad sometimes. It feels like a lot of original content, a lot of opinionated content gets overlooked, especially by smaller YouTubers. Number two is woke as a joke. And this has to be said. A lot of people, as Foamy said, they'll jump on the latest bandwagon about what people are protesting. But it's very shallow. A lot of times it's to get your Instagram pictures in there. It's to wear the latest t-shirts with something about, I don't know, transgender rights or BML. And it's not to say that prejudice doesn't exist. But you jumping on these bandwagons and being the social justice warrior does not help. It doesn't help. You insulting one race or one gender or whatever does not help people who are oppressed. People like Milo Stewart and some of these big social justice warriors getting online and starting your video with all white people are racist does not help people of color not be discriminated against, not face police brutality or anything like that. Saying men, again, especially white men, but this has happened to men of all races, saying about how they have internal misogyny or just basic misogyny, I think internals for like women or whatever, and how they're all evil and they've done nothing but evil and everything. That doesn't help sexism against women. It does not. Like, when I was first discovering her channel, because I give people a chance, to hear them out on both sides. Like, I watched a few of Kat Black's videos, and, well, she basically is a social justice warrior. I'm sorry that offends anybody. I think her fans are a little bit worse. And I'm not talking about her fans that are people of color. I mean, like, fucking white people. Like, this one girl, and from her picture she looked white and everything, and she said she was. They were talking about how white people think everything is spicy, which we don't. I like most spicy things, actually. I love it. Not deathly spicy, but I do like it. And she's like, I had the sauce and everything, and it was spicy, and I thought maybe it was, what the fuck did she say, like, barbecue sauce or something. She's like, no, just plain old ketchup. It's like, okay, first of all, I'm not here to speak for anybody. Okay, I can only speak for myself. I can't even speak for other white women. Because I am me, I'm an individual. But I'm pretty sure no matter who the fuck you are, unless there's something seriously wrong with, like, your taste buds and everything, you are not going to confuse ketchup for barbecue sauce. They don't taste the fucking same. And this fucking virtue signaling, that does not help anybody. That doesn't help people who are actually oppressed. That doesn't help people facing persecution because you put yourself down because of your race, your religion, your color. The basic thing is to treat people with respect. Treat people how you want to be treated. Don't treat them any differently because of how they look, how they speak, what gender they are, whatever. And you putting yourself down, you putting your own people down does not help them. that just makes one more person that's being put down for something superficial, like how they look. It's like, I don't get some of these people. I don't get them. That does not help. Some of these people are just looking for a fucking trend to follow and everything. They don't really care about these causes. Now I'm ranting about rants. Number 1 is triggers and safe spaces. And, I think there's a time and a place for safe spaces. Like, I went to the Florence and the Machine concert. It was fucking awesome. This event lecture. I was kind of disappointed I didn't see anything for Ceremonials there, because Ceremonials is my favorite album from them and everything. But Lungs is very fantastic also. Like, their music is fantastic. And she basically had everyone put their phones away so people can kind of release energy with this song, which is The Dog Days Are Over. And how it was a safe space for them to express themselves, which is both the most millennial and the most, like, anti-millennial. Because you're in a safe space, but you're also not allowed to record it. Which, I get it. That's a good example maybe of a safe space. It's like a concert where everyone can enjoy the music and express themselves. But in real life, you don't get to shut people down because they said something offensive to you. You ignore them, or you say something fucking back. You, like, defend yourself. Like, years ago, when stuff was serious, when you were talking about stuff like women's rights or civil rights and stuff, people got out there and they gave speeches, they marched. People of all different colors and genders and whatnot. They face hatred from their own people for supporting these things. And of course, people in the minority just, they face prejudice, period. But these people went out and marches and everything. And they stood for stuff, even when people were threatening to physically hurt them. And many of them have been physically hurt. Now, and that whole woke thing and the trigger and safe space, that kind of mixes together and everything. It's like people hide behind their computers, their safe space, and again, they just insult people, and that's their way of doing their part for social justice. They're behind their computer in their Facebook groups. That's their safe space where they can talk shit about everyone. But if anybody challenges you, they are misogynistic, they're racist, they're Hitler. Yeah. And everyone is fucking triggered by everything. Oh my god. And some of this I blame the older generation too for, is because, sorry, but a lot of older people are also fucking entitled too. Like, when you come in there into my work and shit and you can't buy your cigarettes and other shit and write a check over $100 and you got all pissy. I know you have grandkids who are watching you. I know they are watching you get pissy for not having your way. And that fucking gets passed down. And then everyone is fucking special. And no one can fucking talk about anything serious around your children because it might frighten them. Like, when people try to ban books and everything, I can understand certain things. In certain ages. Like, a first grader probably should not be fucking reading The Hunger Games. Okay? Even though there are books that are much more graphic, like Battle Royale and stuff like that I really don't recommend. And maybe they shouldn't be reading stuff like Harry Potter either, because even that gets a little dark. And, there's issues in that one too. But some of these people are trying to ban this stuff from, like, fucking, older kids. Because it might be too scary for them. It might be too violent. And it's like, what the hell are you going to do when your 7th grader fucking starts learning about shit like the fucking Holocaust? Or 9/11? I honestly think some of this triggering shit starts with the fucking parents. Trying to overprotect their kids. Like, I can be overprotective and everything. But it's like I worry about actual dangers and stuff out there. Not about my kid learning about actual history. Or being exposed to different ideas. And this video is getting so fucking long. Oh my god, I'm sorry. But I guess I just had a lot to get out. I never thought that I'd make a list about a cartoon squirrel. And have it be this long. But I just love the way he says triggered. Don't say that. I'm triggered. Stuff like I can do the Foamy voice, but it's funny. And basically, he was going about how people curl up in a ball if you have an opposing opinion. It's gotten that bad. I should end this video now because it's so fucking long. But anyways, guys, thanks for watching. Bye-bye.